We are about to dive deep into some of the most chilling cases of mass disappearances in history, where the only thing left behind was an unsolvable puzzle. What if an entire city, a ship's crew, or a whole colony simply ceased to exist in the blink of an eye? Imagine people living their lives one day and the next, gone, vanished without a trace, leaving behind only whispers and questions. Before we begin our journey into the unknown, I want to give a huge, warm welcome to our newest subscribers at Bartholomew Grace IYABO and at Charlene Lawrence 3882. Our first stop takes us to the shores of North America, long before the United States was even a dream. In 1587, a group of over 100 English settlers, including women and children, established a colony on Roanoke Island, in what is now North Carolina. Their governor, John White, sailed back to England for supplies, but his return was delayed by a war with Spain. When he finally made it back 3 years later, in 1590, he found an eerie silence. The entire colony, including his own daughter and granddaughter, Mohenjo-daro, the first English child born in the Americas, had vanished. There were no signs of a struggle, no bodies, no graves. The houses and fortifications had been carefully dismantled, not destroyed. The only clue left behind was a single word carved into a post of the fort: Croatoan. Another carving, Crow, was found on a nearby tree. Croatoan was the name of a nearby island, now known as Hatteras Island, and also the name of a local Native American tribe friendly to the English. Did the colonists simply pack up and move? White had instructed them to carve a Maltese cross if they were in distress, but no cross was found. This suggested they left voluntarily. The most prominent theory is that the settlers, facing starvation or other hardships, decided to assimilate with the Croatoan people. They may have integrated into the tribe, living out their lives among them. Supporters of this idea point to later accounts from the 1700s of gray-eyed, light-haired Native Americans in the region who claimed their ancestors could talk in a book. This could hint at European heritage and literacy. However, other theories paint a darker picture. Did they fall victim to a less friendly tribe? Or did they try to sail back to England on their own and get lost at sea? Some even speculate a deadly disease wiped them out, and the survivors dismantled the settlement to prevent its spread. Without any definitive archaeological evidence, the fate of the lost colony of Roanoke remains one of America's oldest and most haunting unsolved mysteries. Did they blend into a new culture, or did they meet a tragic end? The truth, it seems, was lost to the winds of time. From a lost colony on land, we now set sail into the vast, open ocean for our next mystery. Picture this: it's December 4th, 1872. A British brigantine named the Dei Gratia is sailing through the Atlantic, near the Azores. Its crew spots another ship, a merchant vessel, drifting erratically. As they get closer, they realize something is terribly wrong. The ship is the Mary Celeste, which had left New York a month earlier, bound for Italy. But as the crew of the Dei Gratia boarded her, they found a ghost ship. There wasn't a single person on board. Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife Sarah, their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, and the 7 crew members were all gone. Yet the ship itself was in perfect, seaworthy condition. Its sails were partially set, and there was no sign of a struggle or any kind of violence. Below deck, the crew's personal belongings were still in their quarters. The ship's cargo, over 1,700 barrels of industrial alcohol, was almost entirely intact. The captain's logbook was found, with its last entry made 10 days earlier, placing the ship about 100 miles west of its current position. There was nothing in the log to suggest any trouble. Even more bizarrely, the ship's galley was tidy, and there was a 6-month supply of food and water on board. Everything seemed normal except for a few odd details. One of the ship's pumps had been disassembled. There was over 3 feet of water in the hold, which was a critical amount for a ship that size, and most importantly, the ship's only lifeboat was missing. It seemed as though the 10 people on board had abandoned a perfectly sound ship in the middle of the ocean for a small, vulnerable lifeboat. But why? Theories have swirled for over 150 years. One idea is that fumes from the alcohol cargo started leaking. Fearing an imminent explosion, Captain Briggs ordered everyone into the lifeboat, perhaps intending to trail the Mary Celeste from a safe distance until the danger passed. But the rope connecting them might have snapped, leaving them stranded in the vast Atlantic as their ship sailed on without them. Another theory suggests a seaquake. An underwater earthquake could have shaken the ship violently, panicking the crew into abandoning it. Darker theories involve mutiny, where the crew killed the Briggs family and fled in the lifeboat, or even a pirate attack, though the valuable cargo and personal items were left untouched. There are even outlandish tales of giant squids and alien abduction, but the most plausible explanation points to a hasty evacuation for a perceived, but perhaps non-existent, threat. Whatever happened, the 10 souls aboard the Mary Celeste were never seen or heard from again. Their empty vessel sailed on as a silent, floating tombstone, forever embodying the mystery of the sea. Our final case takes us back thousands of years to one of the world's first great urban civilizations. The Indus Valley Civilization, flourishing around the same time as ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia, was a cultural titan. Spanning a massive area across modern-day Pakistan and India, it was home to an estimated 5 million people. They built meticulously planned cities with sophisticated drainage systems, impressive brick houses, and a standardized system of weights and measures. Cities like Mohenjo-daro and Harappa were marvels of urban planning, far ahead of their time. They had a thriving trade network and even a system of writing which remains undeciphered to this day. And then, around 1900 BCE, after centuries of prosperity, it all just stopped. The great cities were abandoned. The population seemed to decline rapidly, and the once bustling metropolises fell into ruin, eventually buried by the sands of time. For thousands of years, their existence was forgotten, until their rediscovery by archaeologists in the 1920s. The question that stumped everyone was, where did all the people go? Why would a civilization this advanced simply disappear? Unlike Roanoke or the Mary Celeste, this wasn't an overnight vanishing. It was a gradual, but total, collapse. There are no signs of a massive war or invasion. The skeletons found at sites like Mohenjo-daro don't show evidence of widespread violence. Instead, the clues point towards the environment. One of the leading theories is climate change. Scientists believe a major shift in weather patterns weakened the monsoon season, leading to prolonged drought. The Indus people were heavily reliant on agriculture, and without reliable rains, their crops would have failed, leading to famine and social breakdown. Another compelling theory involves the rivers themselves. The civilization was built along the Indus River and the now dried-up Gagarhakra River. It is possible that tectonic activity, earthquakes, or geologic uplift caused these vital rivers to change course or dry up completely. Without their primary source of water for farming and transport, the great cities would have become unsustainable. The population would have been forced to disperse, migrating in smaller groups to more fertile regions, their grand urban culture slowly fading into a more rural, scattered existence. The memory of their united civilization was lost as they integrated into other local populations. It wasn't a single event, but a slow, quiet end to one of history's most brilliant societies, swallowed by the very nature that once nurtured it. From a lonely fort on the American coast, to a ghost ship on the high seas, to the silent ruins of an ancient empire, These stories leave us with more questions than answers. They remind us that for all our knowledge and technology, history still holds deep secrets. These disappearances challenge our understanding of the world and our place in it. They force us to confront the fact that sometimes there are no neat conclusions, no easy explanations. The truth can vanish, leaving us to wonder, to speculate, and to search for echoes of the lost. What other secrets are still out there waiting to be uncovered, or perhaps destined to remain hidden forever? Thank you for joining me on this journey into the unknown. If you're fascinated by mysteries like these, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an episode. What do you think happened in these cases? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious.